had to get it out.
Yeah, y'all.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's
You know what
get
time it is. 8 o'clock, Philly4Horsemen is in the building.
Philly 4. I'm Pretty Boy Day.
And
this is
the Murder. Road boy,
Let's
brother
get it, dude.
Oscar.
Listen, man. We here today. Another fabulous Tuesday. Y'all do know the sun only came out because it's Tuesday. 4 Horsemen Tuesday.
Yep,
I'm just saying. Listen, we here. We want to make awareness of mental health. Awareness of mental health. And to help us do so, we have two special guests
Yes.
that travel in the field of mental health in their own special way, aka certified by God.
Certified.
We have. What's your name again? Hold on, no. What's her name?
What's your name?
What's your name? Tiffany what? Tiffany Williamson.
We got Tiffany Williamson in
We
the
got Tiffany
building.
Williamson. Did you come by yourself?
Williamson. Let's give a round of applause.
Did you come by yourself today? Can you talk in the mic? Because we rehearsed that.
Mic
We
check,
just wanna
1, 2.
know that. There we go. We got you. Now, did you come by yourself, Miss Tiffany? Beautiful Camilla. Camilla what?
Camilla what?
There,
Camilla what?
What?
Williams.
Camilla what? Are y'all sisters?
You would think so, right?
No,
The Williams
I
sisters.
wouldn't think so because I know you're crazy. Like I really know I know you.
But
like,
you don't really know
you're
me.
crazy. But I don't know Miss Camilla. All right. I just want to introduce y'all. Thank y'all for being here today.
Yes.
I appreciate you coming
Welcome,
here today.
ladies.
Boo-boo.
Welcome.
You understand what I'm saying, boo boo?
Go. Groovy.
Oh, we snapping? That's what we doing?
Groovy.
We snapping?
Groovy.
Okay, snap. All right, so the word and quote of the day
Drum roll,
is,
please.
y'all ready?
Go ahead, drop it.
Sometimes, hold up. If in case somebody would like to call,
Right.
what's the phone number they gonna call?
Man, you can hit us up at 267
267
886
886
0629.
0629.
Call me.
All right, y'all.
Oh,
So
remix.
we got Miss Camilla,
Yes.
and we also have Miss Tiffany, and we're going to talk about mental health and awareness. We also going to talk about your personal businesses and how we can reach and purchase and support privately owned businesses.
Yes.
Can I get a manager for a second?
Manager.
Do y'all like this music selection?
Yeah, I'm grooving.
Yeah, I kind of got to it for a second. I started rocking.
Oh.
Hey, if everything is good, can I get a hand clap? Are we good? Everything's okay?
I was about to say that.
Yes, everything's good. Okay,
Everything's-
everything's good. All right, we can go on.
Yes. Also,
Apostle?
I almost forgot. For those who don't know, you can hit us on all platforms. Facebook, Philly4Horsemen
You
Podcast.
didn't forget it's not time for it yet.
It's not time?
Not yet.
Oh, I want to do it. I'm preemie.
Okay, so this is what's
was
going
the
on.
quote of the
I'm
day
just
you
since
were
y'all
doing?
not catching on,
Yeah.
I was stalling because it looked like we wasn't having proper connection, so I was stalling before I start going on. But since y'all want to just go ahead, so we just gonna go ahead. So I'm gonna read the quote of the day. Y'all ready?
Go ahead.
So I introduced you guys early. I wasn't supposed to get to introduce until after C Murder give all the platforms, but I wanted y'all opinion. I know she's crazy, so I'm not sure about you, but you hang with her and you admit that you hang with her, so you got a little up in you too. I'm just saying.
I'm semi.
Let's get to the quote.
So, The quote. Why you rushing, nigga? We got
I want to hear the quote, man, because I feel this quote right now. I feel it in my
oh,
bones.
he's
man.
excited.
I
So
feel it in my
let me hurry up.
body,
You
dog.
ready? Okay, you ready? Sometimes the strength within you is not a fiery flame, for all to see, it is just a tiny spark that whispers ever so softly, "You got this, keep going." Let me read that one more time, because that was a little deep. And Miss Saida Dreams is normally at the bottom of the ocean with her stuff, but this was a little deep. So I'm gonna read it again. You ready? Sometimes the strength within you is not a fiery flame for all to see. It is just a tiny spark that whispers ever so softly, "You got this. Keep going." I like that. What do you think of that, Miss Camilla?
I think that's 100% true because
100% true.
it's one of the poems that I'm performing for whatever the night we get to that. But in the line, I say, anybody can see your strength but not understand why you're so strong. So I learned to let it feed me, build me up in my soul. And that's what basically that's saying, the internal spark, build you up in your soul, Not everybody's supposed to know people can know your journey, but they don't really know,
Right.
But they don't really know where
Right.
your strength come from. You don't really know what I've been through. You just see me coming here talking my whatever. You don't know what my story is.
Right.
So
Well, we gonna know today. What Kevin Hart say?
Yeah.
You gonna learn today.
They can
What?
learn.
Miss Tiffany, how do you feel?
So I agree.
And can you talk into the mic for the 20th time?
Like to me, in reference to like
There we go.
being, what can I say, like having, like you're not always motivated,
Right.
but you have that little light because your talents and your dreams and your gifts is something that you want to give, and that's something that keep you going. But you're not. Sometimes you have dry bones and you're not always motivated. But that little spark, that's what keep you going.
Okay. Murder. Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's always a spark.
Yeah.
Especially when you meant to like flourish in the
Yeah.
world. Like even when you get discouraged, there's always something that like for me in general, for the organization, that spark is when I got friends like this who hit me up. They thinking about my business before I even am,
Support.
I had people who used to call me up out of my sleep and be like, "Look, this is what I've been working on all night. Let's look at this." That's the spark.
Right.
So-
Somebody support.
So if anybody, your listeners need anybody to elaborate or never had a spark, they will know.
See, I kind of disagree with that, but we'll talk about that in a second.
You just want to disagree.
No, because so this seemed like it's talking about self-motivation.
Right.
That thing with inside of you that nobody see. That is support. You're supporting your friend. You're letting them know, like, hey, you got this. You can do this. But that spark inside of you is just a little different.
It is always, see, the spark inside of you is always going to be there, but sometimes it get lost in the wilderness.
Okay.
And somebody
Right,
got to
right.
bring it back to you. So that's what having other people around you that's going to bring that spark. It could come from anywhere. It's vibrations. It could come from anywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All
So,
right. And why would you think I just want to disagree?
because we've been.
She got that good.
I love to play Angel's Advocate though. I always want to.
Yeah, he do.
I always
He
want to
do.
show the other side and get
Absolutely.
you thinking also. So I love to do that. So you might be right. I gotta
Yeah.
think about that. We'll talk about that
Ain't nothing
later.
wrong with
Yeah.
that, but-
Go ahead, Murder. What you think about that,
I
bro?
agree with both ladies. You know what I mean? That spark inside you, you got to spark that as far as inside you, as far as what you want in life.
Right.
So if you want it, go get it. Don't let nothing discourage you. Don't let yourself discourage you. Don't let nothing distract you. Just get out here and get it.
And when it's
And-
your purpose,
yeah.
it's inevitable. So
Exactly.
you're going to have to do it anyway.
And make sure it's a passion that you want to do too.
Oh,
You
it's
gotta
definitely
have.
going to be a
It
passion.
got to be a passion within you that you want to do this. Why you want to do this? What's the reason why you want to do this? What's your purpose? What's your goals? What's everything? Every level of it.
We can go on and on about that.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah.
All right, that's beautiful. Thank you, Miss Saida Dreams. We
Yes.
appreciate
We
your
love that.
quote of the day. Murder, let's get them
Now I can get
platforms,
to
baby.
platforms.
You've been rushing to the platform. I don't get it, but let's get it.
I just love saying it. I don't know why. It just
Hold on.
flow.
I want to give a shout out. I don't know if it's this. I don't know. But we're going to give a shout out to IYBO. He's on
Yes.
here. Star, what's up,
What's
baby?
up, Star? What's up, bro?
We also got Brown Love.
What's up,
going
Brown
on,
Love?
Bobo?
What's going on?
What up, Bobo? Hold on. And we got Zaire single.
Hey,
I think he want to let the world know.
hey.
Period.
Is that Zaire or Zaira? Because it got an E at the end of it.
I think it's Zayar.
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 You know
Zayar.
Zayar? You know him? Because that's it. I think that's right. You ain't even see this. You know?
Ah.
Oh, you want to give a shout out to Zayar? Yo, that's a player name. I'm just saying.
I know.
Male or female. Yeah, hey, what's your name?
Zayar.
What's your name, boo?
Zayar.
Well, if it's a guy, what's your name? Hey, what's your name, baby?
Zayar.
Yo, why you gonna make me look bad because your voice deeper than you? You knew I was trying to get my Barry White on.
Go ahead.
I can't do it now that deep. You already went below me. All right, man. All right, Zayar. Hey, there it goes. All right, shout out to Zayar.
Yes.
All right.
Let's get back to these platforms. You can hit us up on Facebook, Philly4Horsemen, Instagram at Philly4Horsemen, TikTok at Philly4Horsemen, YouTube, Philly4Horsemen Podcast, email podcast4horsemen@gmail.com. Not the number 4, but the word 4. That's all I got to say. And make sure you hit that telephone number, 267-886-0629. That's all I got to say. Amen.
All right, man. You still up, baby?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I got to go on. What's going on?
Happening,
What's
baby?
happening around
What's
the world?
happening?
The Texas Mall shooting. What y'all think about that? Because the Texas Mall shooting.
Well, this is what I was surprised of.
Any mass shooting is horrible.
Now, I by no means am racist. Okay, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to make y'all say it. I'm just going to ask.
Okay.
So when he just said to you, Texas mass shooting, what is the first thing you seen in your head?
You already know.
Tell me. I would like for you to tell me.
No, you want us to just say it. You
Yes,
already
just
know.
say it. Don't be scared.
It's the dysfunction and the dysfunction of
And
whatever they got going on. With
and what was the first nationality you thought of?
a Caucasian?
Okay, but surprisingly enough, his name is Garcia.
You don't think black people could ever get mad enough to just start a mass shooting?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But how often have
It's called going postal.
It's just a different
check
name.
ain't
Thank
right.
you. It's just a different name for it.
You don't have my check? What you mean my check short?
Go
I'm coming back.
Everybody.
So I am not making jokes. It is mental health awareness.
Yeah.
And I was bringing that. Yeah, I was just bringing that to like that. It was a Spanish guy that, you know, who knows what goes through their mind right now for that to happen. That you don't want to end your life, you want to end everybody else's life in a mall. Like in the mall, you go there with your kids, you go there with your family to have a good time, and now, and it's happened before in the past, but it's more prevalent now than it used to be. So it's like you gotta constantly be on guard just to go to the mall and take your kids shopping.
It's part of the fact I don't do big crowds.
I think
do
it
not
has
do
a lot
big
to do
crowds.
with mental health. I
Right.
think it has a lot to do with what we're eating. I think it has a lot to do with, well, not a lot to do with, but I also believe that's a little selfish too.
Yeah.
I think that it's selfish, even though like it is a mental issue. Because I think it's sad and selfish for someone to take their life,
Right.
Because you're going through what you're going through. You're taking your life from others that need you.
Right.
And I also think that it's selfish for you not to. Why you ain't take your life and you just decide to come here and take everyone else's life?
Right. That's an interesting.
And I do want to say that I do think some of it has to do with the government, but I don't think it's all. I think some of these people we can go there. I ain't trying to get shot when I walk from out of here, but like
That
I
part.
think
That's
all
all
that
I
is
said.
gun
That
control.
We definitely going before you leave tonight. We definitely going because I've never thought of government mental health. I never thought
They
of
would
that.
do anything to
together.
drive their whatever it is they want to drive, their missions and stuff like gun control and things like that in certain places. I'm not saying that what happened in Texas or any other place had anything to do with the government, but I'm not saying that it's not unrealistic that stuff like that happens in certain amount of times, and we about to go into a whole bunch of elections.
Right.
So a lot of crazy stuff that's been going on and going on right now has a lot to do with the government. That's just my personal opinion.
That's a little deep right there. I never thought of it. Interesting. Listen, we want to keep all anybody that got hurt or killed or anything at all in our prayers for their families. Our prayers are going out for you.
Because
all right.
and everybody got shot. All right, we're going to go on to prison escape, identified as two men that was responsible for the 4 killings in Philly. Two young boys.
I was listening to that earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the crazy part about it, look.
Are we supposed to talk
No, we should because they on the loose.
But the crazy part, how they
on
escaped.
Germantown, okay?
A lack of having more COs. Because a part of the section in the correctional center didn't have no security, no nothing, no COs, no nothing, because they showed on security people as far as correctional officers and all that. Budget cuts and everything. Yeah, see?
They not willing to put that money in like that. They really just want to house the bodies back to the government.
Anytime they cutting a hole in the fence to get out.
Okay. I'm sorry. I can't take it no more. Stop it. Everybody. First of all, have y'all ever visited CFCF?
No.
Have you ever visited CFCF?
I'm from Philadelphia. Of course I have visited CFCF.
There is no way in freaking heck that a person can just get out of there. It's impossible. It had to be. I'm sorry. I know you said I just want to be the opposite and all. I'm sorry. It's impossible.
No
to
inside
get,
job.
It has to be.
No.
It has to be.
Because they said it all, everything.
Listen
on here.
to me.
You said what?
They said
I have
everything
visited
on here how they got out. They cut a hole. A part of the prison.
Where they
had
get
no CO.
Where did they get something that's going to cut metal in prison where they strip you butthole naked and look in your butthole and everything before you go into there? Where did they get a piece of metal from that's going to cut the gate?
They were sharpening something.
That's going to cut metal. Listen to what you're saying. Let's think about this. Let's use basic and common. Well, first of all, it's not common because everybody don't have it. Right. Let's just use a little bit of logic. Mm-hmm. Okay? Where did they strip you? Okay, I'm going to tell you. They just to go visit.
Watched a lot.
I've never been to jail.
Oh, you watched a lot of movies, so you know you're stripped naked, bend over, spread it, and cough.
Right.
Now, after you go through that process, where did you get something metal that's going to cut a gate?
But people bring contraband in
Answer
the jail all the time. I don't know. They've been in there for a little while, and they say that they were some menaces of people who really don't have no regard for life, in a sense. So
that means somebody
did it for them.
Gave them something.
I'm not doubting that.
He said no inside job. That's what Murder said, and I'm telling you, I don't care what nobody says.
That's what they're going to say. That's what they have
to
say. They're not going to say they was involved with that.
Exactly.
That without a shadow of a doubt. Thank you. So we actually agree on that.
That's news.
We're not crazy. Okay, ding ding, high five.
Yes.
High five. Let's go. I ain't crazy. I'm sitting there listening like, you cut it? What do you mean you cut a gate?
But this is what I don't understand. Is this okay? So 2 of them escaped, right?
Right.
And one of them was the murderer, and one was selling drugs. His charges was drug charges, and the other was murder charges.
I'm not sure the exact charges. All I know, they said one of them had something to do with 4 murders in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. They said he got Netflix specials about him. 18 years old.
Yeah, and he 18. Back out on the streets?
Yeah.
Oh my God, let's change the subject. Let's change the subject.
Menace to society. That's all I Menace to society.
I am so sorry. I apologize, sir.
Just be safe in these streets. Share them pictures because we all have to be safe.
Exactly.
Women are a prominent target in Philadelphia, especially black women. So we never know when you got people out on the streets, they ain't got no regard for life. You got to have regard for yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
So, yeah, share them pictures because I'm scary.
Man, it's a crazy. I ain't gonna say it. It's a crazy world. That's all I gotta say.
It is.
It's just crazy.
Mental health.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people is starting to deal or not rather deal with it, but it's still coming out, and people is forced to have them conversations now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, ladies, I'm gonna read these comments,
Okay.
and
What the comments
then,
say?
hey,
Hey, y'all.
manager, can I get a quarter? You got a quarter on you? Anybody got a quarter? Coin, penny, nickel, dime. It doesn't even matter.
What you need a quarter for?
I'm about to show you.
Oh, he about to do, ladies and gentlemen, he's about to do a magic trick.
So listen, so I am gonna read these comments, and then hold on, I need the quarter.
I'm digging like a woman do. In her
Hey,
purse.
do your thing, baby.
Wait, that's a quarter.
The life of D said it is, but I don't know what it is.
Probably agreeing to something we said.
Thank you. I like him. Say his name again. Zayar said mass incarceration. They were helped. Period.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So we gonna do this. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Tails.
All right. Who said heads? You said heads? All right, you're first. Everybody see that? Heads it is. Do I get to keep this quarter? Can I have it?
Sure.
Thank you.
a gift.
I owe you. Now, if I owe you,
You never go broke. My father used to tell me that.
All right, Miss Tiffany Williams. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yes.
What would you like to know? So, let's talk about Boss Mom Stay Fit. So
Boss Mom,
talk about
Stay
it. Let's
Fit.
talk about
Let's
it.
get it,
talk
baby.
about it. So, Boss Mom Stay Fit is a woman support group. Fit is an actual acronym for Fearless Intentional Transformation.
Ooh.
So this
Groovy.
Groovy, man.
Yeah.
Groovy.
So this all came about, I want to say 2019, the whole Boss Mom Stay Fit. And it was for my journey as pretty much starting over. And starting over with myself, starting over with a village, raising children, working, running businesses. And as the journey started and the years coming and me with my children as well as other children in school and acting out, and I'm noticing that we all are saying, where is the parents?
Right.
And that's a real big deal to me. And the reason why that's a real big deal to me is because, I mean, we do know that it is some parents out here, they're not good, but all parents, they're not bad parents. A lot of parents have to work.
Right.
They don't have a village.
Right.
These kids now are eating whatever they want to eat, when they want to eat, and how they want to eat.
Mine.
And because we are living in a new time, even with myself, as we all now are into getting a bag,
Right.
being independent, entrepreneurship, running our businesses. But what I started realizing is that I don't really see us illustrating or putting together with our kids, with our children anymore, even on social media.
Yeah.
It's all about us, and that's cool because I know that I got a lot of catching up to do because I'm starting over again.
Right.
So yeah, I'm major catching up with life, running businesses, and now being a single mother. So I'm doing a lot as well.
Right.
But my main thing is now that I'm really I'm learning and studying about what we're eating. Because I think that has a lot to do with mental health.
Right.
Yep.
And that is geared toward, again, the government. Also, the health field,
Right.
medications. So
Break it down.
So in my journey, and as I'm learning more, this is something that I want to be able to give to women, so they can, to mothers, to aunts, because not only all of us are not moms, some of us, we care for our loved ones, and my thing when it comes to mental is that I'm going with the food, because if we're going to detoxify, if we're going to be fearless and intentional and we're transforming, I think that's something that we need to do on the inside first to be purified.
Right.
Absolutely.
I believe.
So
Better talk that girl.
Yeah, talk it.
Snap,
Talk
snap,
it.
snap,
We
talk
gotta
it.
snap to that. Yes, definitely do.
So I just want, so Boss Mom Stay Fit is also just about resources, giving resources. I have, other people that I work with just so we can just start getting together in reference to, again, what we're eating, what we're feeding our children, how all of us are not now, and then we got to think about these corner stores. Like, my kids now with the corner store thing, like I literally just had to cut it out. Like, you're not allowed to come in my house with no bag or nothing from the corner store. It's important that we're feeding them, they eating breakfast, how they going to school, because a lot of these kids, first of all, these kids is weird now anyway, all of them, including mine, just straight weirdos, okay? So, but we're not being, I think that we need to go back to being mindful, because even me coming up, living in dysfunction, my grandmother always made sure we at least had toast and juice before we walked out the door to go to school.
Facts.
And I lived in a whole lot of dysfunction, but we ate before we went to school. And I have had to take a setback with myself with being a boss mom and sit back and I'm watching my kids like they got plenty of time to eat and they'll rather leave out the house and go to the corner store
and buy snacks.
Before breakfast. And I'm like, not my kids, and hopefully not my kids, but now I'm like, this is why these kids is at the school acting crazy. This is why, all these things are going on in the schools, and we are beating moms up. We're beating them up. Some of them need some help. Some of them, we need a village. We got to stop being prideful and ask for the help that we need. Right. But we are out here giving moms hell a little bit.
So you got the opportunity right now to speak to all the moms that feel overwhelmed. So I want you to look at that camera right there and speak to the moms.
That's right.
All right. So shout out to all the moms. Okay. I know that it's not easy. And we're working hard, but I would say if you need help, ask for help when they come to your kids. If you see that your kids are going through things in school, don't take that lightly. They may need to seek some help. So, with the resources, we have resources. Boss Mom Stay Fit has resources. It's Mine's Movement have resources.
That's right.
And we can help you as well.
Any platforms they can hit you on?
So they can go to Boss Moms. I am Boss Mom Stay Fit on IG, and they can go to Boss Mom Stay Fit on Facebook.
All right.
Stay fit, girl.
Now we're gonna move on to you.
Hey.
I ain't gonna say the name. You gonna do that. Go ahead. Introduce yourself. I'm
Camilla Williams, born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. I've been in Philadelphia for about 8 years. In that process, I moved here and ended up in an abusive relationship. And once that ended, I already, established a life for myself here. And I've been a boss, not a mom, but I've been a boss. So I decided to continue my journey. And as I continued my journey, I started my healing journey from what I've gone through in my past, my childhood trauma, just all around wanting to be a better person, not wanting to be somebody old and bitter and just nasty because I'm too cute for that. So in 2019, I started It's Mine Movement through my own healing process as a sexual abuse and a domestic violence survivor. It was my own outlet. I wanted to find a way to, for one, I know what I've been through wasn't in vain. I know that I went through the things that I did for a reason, and I am the way that I am for that reason. And I just use my story to help other people. I'm really big into that. Our mission is to help the BIPOC, the Black, Indigenous, and people of color community to break the cycle of trauma. On the website, it says that we hope to basically reduce suicide by a fraction. By dealing with your mind in junction with your body, the same. That's why we, makes sense, right? You see how we did? So, dealing with your mind, right. Dealing with your mind in junction with your body, and we hoping to reduce the numbers on suicide because it is very, very high on our Black people and our people of color. It started off as an organization focusing on sexual trauma, but then I started to realize that it's bigger than that and it's bigger than me. And this organization is going to be big, so check out for us, look for us. So our goal is really just to break the cycle of trauma and finding ways to do that. We do provide mental health therapy. We have our Black therapists. We have they, them therapists. We're supporting our LGBTQ plus community. anxiety, depression,
Right,
all of those things.
right.
We have panel discussions as well. We talk about taboo things that people don't really like to talk about, such as
Right.
sexual abuse or domestic violence and LGBTQ plus or gay issues, just things that people are going through silently, and they need to hear people like me or other people like us who don't have a problem with sharing our story, don't have a problem with like being the forefront of like what somebody else is going through silently. And the silence is what causes the suicide. So we want to raise our voices, which is why we having this open mic night on the 27th, where I'm a poet myself, but that was another one of my outlets, you know, and I love the poetry scene in Philly. It's always been welcoming to me. So we really just looking to continuously just like put our names out there and continue to serve a purpose and show up for our people. If nobody else going to do it, we got to do it, you know?
I know that's right. And what's the location where this poetry going to be at? So people can come and hear that.
It is, right, them snaps.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a couple of pieces too. I'm hosting, but I'm going to do a couple of pieces as well. But it's going to be at Our House Culture Center on Germantown. I believe the address is 6380 Germantown Avenue. If I'm correct, I'm surprised I even remembered it. But it's literally on the corner of Germantown and Johnston Avenue. Literally on the corner. Yeah. Tickets are $20. It is a fundraiser.
Okay.
So the organization right now is fundraising for $100K so we can provide free mental health therapy. Of course, we want to raise more than $100K.
Right.
But if we have a set number right now, so people see what our goal is, you know, we can serve at least 10 people for free, you know, off 100,000.
Right.
So that's our goal. But the tickets are $20. The poets are free. We're having food. We have She Creates, who is providing the food.
Okay.
Yep, catering. What we say? We decided on the spinach dip, crab dip, Philly cheesesteak sliders, a salad, and fruit and
Very
veggies.
important. And that's another thing. Can I just interject? Because we're talking about food again. Let's get back to eating fruits.
Go ahead. Break it down. Go ahead.
Let's get back to eating fruits with seeds in it. I love watermelon. Sometimes I eat it, but I just hate why we can't find watermelon with seeds in it? I think
That's a good question. We should just plant them.
Right. So that's another thing with Boss Mom Stay Fit. I'm going to have more information that's coming out as well as I'm building. The website is coming. There's going to be a launch because we are going to be working on doing things in the farm, how to grow our own fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
we have a few events planned for the rest of the year. We're not playing.
I know that's
we are showing up and showing out, and just us in general, just trying to bring an atmosphere of normalizing, supporting your friends,
a safe place.
Showing up for your friends,
Right.
being sisters, joining them as sisters, and just serving a cause.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right.
All right, I'm sorry. I apologize. Check this out. First of all, I got to ask you a question. Do you believe in the Bible?
I do.
You do. Do you believe in the Bible?
I do.
Okay, first of all, I'm sorry. You're not going to like what I got to say. And I'm so sorry. But we got to change all this. Fruits and vegetables. Listen to this. You ready? You ready? Are you ready? Y'all did this shit. It's all your fault. Boss moms, your fault. First of all, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The reason why things are the way they are, I'm sorry. I got to go back to my show in January. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Matter of fact, no, I don't. I can fight. Listen to me.
I can fight too.
Listen, I think you can, but this thing, you see what I'm talking? But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Boss moms,
I'm taller than you.
boss moms, entrepreneurship, all that stuff is why things are the way they are now. There's nobody home with the kids.
Hold on.
Talk about it.
Hold on. No, now you're not going to do it. Now you're not going to do it. Now you're not going to do it.
It started with Eve. Come on, eat this apple. No, not ding, ding, ding. I want to be a boss mom. I'm an alpha woman. Come on, I'm going to get out the house. Meanwhile, the man is working. The kids are at home with John. And John just bought a piece of weed and he got it to your son mouth. Yo, check this out. You ain't got to work Friday. Come on, we can get high. All that is happening while you are at work. The man is at work. Why aren't you home with the kids? Come on, let's talk about it.
Let's
Are
talk
you done?
about it.
And I got
Are
the
you done?
apostle right here with me.
Are you done?
The Bible says.
All right, so in the name of Jesus,
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
first of all, there are a lot of moms that's working from home. And there are a lot of moms.
And that's the problem.
No, it's not the problem. Because the problem used to be that the mamas wasn't home enough with the kids. Now that moms are home with the kids. Now
with the kids
now
where?
they are. They're still
entrepreneurs
home.
right now. They all
Okay,
boss
so
moms.
the problem is that they're a boss. Now,
Can a boss mom
the more
speak?
that you say that,
Uh-oh.
the more that you say that, it's going to make me feel like your masculinity is a little bit affected because women can be
Children are
bosses.
affected. I'm
Yeah.
already
I
raised.
heard.
I am a
Women
man.
can
I
be
am a
bosses.
protector. That's
That's
what
the
I
whole
do.
point of it. Women can really
We're
do
talking
it
about
all.
the kids right now, and you absolutely can do it
we're-
all except raise the kids because
right.
you're not home.
And so where the dads at?
Where
You
at
want to
work
to the
where they're
women?
supposed to be.
And where? So
At
all
work-
right. So how do you split the two? Because moms do it
At
all.
work, yeah, they do
Moms
it all
do it
except
all.
raise the kid. Except raise the. So, but you
How?
want a man to stay home?
How do you
Because
know-
somebody got to raise the kids.
If you're at work, how do you know that the mother of your kids is not
Because
raising
she's
them?
a boss mom and she at work
And she
too.
is, and she paying multiple.
where
she's
where
paying a
should
lot
she
of
be?
attention to her kids on top
How?
of doing
She's
her
working an
work.
8-hour job. She's an
You
entrepreneur.
never know that. You never know. And not even 8 hours. Let's say 16. And I could. And
That's
I feel
even
like
worse. You're
I
proving my
feel
point
like-
even more.
I feel like my boss mom is quiet because she's a living testimony, a living epitome of
First of
that.
all,
because
I know
she's
her,
still,
and she works her butt off
she
to the
does,
bone, and she's very good at what she do.
And she still
But
tends to
the
her children.
problem is who is watching the kids.
But who gonna
and
pay
I am
these
not
bills?
speaking directly to you.
Who's gonna pay
I'm
these
speaking
bills?
to women
You
as a
can't speak
whole.
to me because I don't have no kids. I ain't tired.
And that's
You can't speak to
listen,
me. I
I'm
don't got
not
no
gonna say
kids. I make my money real
I would-
good.
and
And
so
I'm
then
cool
you
on
would
that.
not even fit in this category because you don't have any kids.
Well, you
But
came
I'm
in here,
speaking-
you came in here
No,
on a fire with me.
I went straight to boss moms. I never said
But you looking at me.
and I'm looking at you because you in front of me. I got you in front of the mic. But guess what? That's your homie, so you want to speak anyway.
I
I'm
am.
talking to
Right.
women as a whole. Y'all say it
Okay.
takes a village, but if all the village of women, if all the village of women are entrepreneurs and nobody's the freak home, who's raising the kids? Nobody still answer that question.
Well, because I couldn't.
Right.
Go ahead, boss man.
So first of all, you ain't gonna put boss moms out there like that and say we the problem because
boss moms.
Okay.
No, that's what I mean.
That's
boss
what you
moms.
said, right?
That's what I mean. Boss
That's
moms.
what you said. Okay, so but that is exactly why boss moms stay fit. Fearless, intentional transformation is for. See, me and my journey, I'm a 40-year-old woman, right? 40
That's good. Let's
40
get it,
something.
baby.
I'm a 40-something-year-old woman, okay, that was married very young at a
Right.
young age.
Right.
And I sacrificed a whole lot, which I do not, let me be clear, do not regret at all. Because it changed my life, it changed who I was, it changed my outlook on life. I was able to stay at home. I was able to raise my children when they were little and have them grow up. But I also knew that I had other plans as well as I got older. So now that I am by myself, as a single mother, and I will say that I went from being single to widowed, so to be a widow, so that's even like a double whammy for me because I couldn't understand it. I'm like, God, how you see fit for me? Like, you really want me to be out here by myself, like with no dad at all, with all these kids? You see that in me, right? So when we talk about fearless intentional, it was like I have to get myself together and prepared for still my children as well as what I'm working towards. See, I'm not being a boss because I want to be a boss. I'm being a boss because I want to be able to have some freedom to be able to be more like my kids is getting ready, and I say it every year, like just let me get them to high school, because by the time they all get to high school, at least I'll be able to work on my own time, my own schedule, and be able to spend time with my children. Because that is the goal. And that is with the whole Boss Mom Stay Fit. Yes, we live in soft life at Boss Mom. We ain't independent talk about something we don't need no man for nothing. Because I feel like if you say you don't need a man for nothing, then obviously you probably never had one.
Ooh. Because since y'all hear that, if you out there talking about I don't need no man, I can do it all myself, I don't need nothing, You probably never had. You had boys. Just let me interrupt you for a second. Apostle. First of all, I do want to say to you, kudos to you, and I want to let you know that God would never put more on you than you can bear. Yeah. So if God is putting you through a test right now, that means He knows that you have the capability to pass the test. Now, we have Apostle here, Apostle Nate. I would actually like to know your opinion on what I am saying. And I'm talking about as far back as Eve asking Adam to take a piece of this fruit, and we are now going through all the perils and pain that we're going through now because of the women with children, because Eve ain't had no kids at the time either.
Listen, I think
to be clear,
this is what you
Just to answer your question,
hold on,
just to answer your question about who's
something.
raising the kids. They do have friends like me with no kids who do come pick up the kids. They have grandmas.
Well, I got 8 of them, so can you come get a couple of mine?
I don't know about that.
it takes a village.
Hold on.
They
I want to hear.
got grandparents. They got aunties. They got cousins.
Right.
They got little cousins. They got moms have intentional ways of making that happen, so they can.
But they
be
shouldn't
one.
have to
Because
make it
a
happen.
mom-
They should not
and let me
have
tell
to
you
make
this,
it
before you go to
happen. It
Apostle,
should be
because
something.
I do want to
It
hear
should
you,
be
Apostle.
something that you're doing
Here's
on
another
your
thing.
own. What are you talking about?
Another thing is
I want
that.
you to be home with your mom. With your mom.
Another thing,
He want us to stay
and
on
I'm gonna leave it
welfare.
alone. One more thing, and I'm
want
gonna
us
leave
to
it
stay on
alone.
welfare.
He's saying
Life was
moms,
easier
but
when
he
everybody got
also-
food stamps.
Right.
Yeah, how about that?
Not only that,
Yes, sir.
Not only that, but he's also
Shoot,
you're
you
also
never lie.
forgetting that moms aren't just moms; they're also women. So they also have to find themselves as women. They're not just a mother. They also have to identify themselves, be their own person. So if that means they're going to be an entrepreneur, make their own money, however they're going to see themselves fit in the world, and I'm gonna come back to my kids and cash that check.
Are you
They
done?
got to be a mom. No,
Are you
they
done?
got to be a mom.
There we go.
And they got
Are
to
you
be a
done?
woman.
Who's
They're
selling
going to be a
what?
woman. What you mean?
There you go.
See, I
First
can't
of all,
agree with everything you said.
First of all,
You know what I
everything that
mean?
you're saying is exactly what I'm saying. That's the problem.
The problem is what?
You say, okay, I want to get married. I want to have kids. Now you done got 5 kids. Now it's, you know what? I want to be a boss now, and I want to be an entrepreneur now.
Okay.
You should have done those things
But why-
before you
but
had
that's not
kids.
true.
Because now that
That's
you're trying to do all
closed-minded.
those
That's not-
things,
that's
now that you're
closed-minded
trying
and
to
it's
do all those
unrealistic.
things,
It's
who's home with the
closed-minded
kids?
and it's-
Hold on,
I
before we
wish I had
finish this
gavel.
argument, I would like to
Some
hear what the
points,
apostle has to
some
say.
points is man.
He ain't letting nobody talk. He just like.
All right, go ahead. Go
We
ahead.
got a phone caller. I think we should just take a phone call.
Yeah, we're going to take the phone call. Answer the phone.
You in trouble. You should have started something. They calling in.
Go ahead. Can y'all hear him talk?
He done started something.
Hello, caller. You're live,
Yo,
baby.
caller.
Done started something. I don't hear nothing.
Yeah, it's connected. Yeah, it's connected.
Caller.
They must be on text talk.
Hey, caller, we can't hear you. Call back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a
He said the problem is that
Wait.
a mother
Hold on.
chose herself
Hold on.
to do something for herself.
You spoke for 2 hours. Let the apostle
But you're speaking on a
Hold on.
woman when
Let's
a
put the
woman
call
when you're a
through.
man.
Caller, can you hear us?
caller.
speak on the kids that's out there killing themselves.
No.
Hello, caller.
Bring your ass home then, motherfucker. From work.
Say that.
Oh, we back in Jesus. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. The Father God.
Caller.
You know my heart. Jesus.
Caller, are you there, caller?
Present.
Yeah, call him. You should have called him on the other phone to come right through.
Call
And then
me.
She wouldn't even have said that.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna read some of these comments real quick before y'all get back into.
He started it.
shit.
No,
Hold,
he
hold,
can't.
before you get back in, let me
say
read
that
these
to us
comments
right
real
now.
quick.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened to the caller?
He called on
They
text
hung up
time.
on you.
They never
Text
answered.
talk. What text talk?
Hello, he's still on there. Oh, call ended. All right,
Yeah,
you want
they
me to
ain't
read
got
the
time for
comments
us.
while you talk to them? Or you got it?
All right, let me read the comments. Star said, as parents, we have to make time to make the breakfast before school for our children to be the best opportunity.
Yep.
Shadir said, water the seeds of our future and pray to bloom correctly.
The bloom.
Pray I guess she said pray they bloom correctly. She said
Pray that they bloom correctly.
Yeah,
We have a caller.
all right, is the caller going to answer?
Yeah,
Hello, caller.
And it's
It's
from
another
Delaware,
person.
so I know who it is. It's Rob. What's up, Rob? Can you hear me?
Answer it.
If somebody's already on.
It need to be a 3-way because now it's another person call. So now make it a conference.
That's what I'm talking about. This new age. If we had rotary phones, we wouldn't be having this problem.
I know. Then you got to wait till the knob.
By Boss Mom. Caller, we done merged the call. Everybody's online. What's up? Talk. Read the comments.
All right, I'm getting back.
Don't
to these
hang up, don't hang
I'm
up.
getting back to these comments while you handling these phone calls. Where I'm at. Star said, I agree with you on that day.
On that day. Yeah,
Oh,
on
what's his
that
name?
day.
Zaire?
Zion.
Zaire, my bad. Zaire. Here's your comment. Definitely understand of eating healthy and eating correctly. But a lot of foods are now
I hear it.
unman-made
gotta call
and
it.
not good.
Absolutely.
Yo, caller.
Yo, yo.
Yo, man, can y'all get y'all ghetto phone fixed?
Right? It's the Android. It's because they got a droid. It's the droid.
Oh,
All right,
man.
all calls are merged. What's up?
Caller.
We gotta do this again.
What's happening? Hey, Dave, what's good with you?
Hey, slow motion, baby.
Murder,
What's going
what's
on?
up?
Yo,
Talk to these women
what's
for
going
me, man.
on?
Tell them about
What's your-
themselves.
Hey, so listen, right? That young
you hear
lady,
me?
tell her to calm down because we must have hit a bad spot.
Calm
And
down.
which one you talking
In other words, he said
about?
We hit
I'm
Not the
calm.
pastor, the one that's in that purple shirt, man. She got to relax a little bit, man.
It's blue.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm
purple,
chill.
blue,
He came
they-
in hot for me. He just came in hot.
Hot.
You came in hot.
so
I
Dave.
actually
what?
left hot because I couldn't take it no more, so I left out to calm
Yeah.
down. And while I was out there calming
might
down,
be
I just
hot.
couldn't calm down.
Okay.
All right, so you got a caller on the line. Can I talk?
Go right here.
Yes, sir.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
I hear you, man. What's up?
What's
What's
going
good with
on?
you? This Star right here, I'm calling in, man.
Yo, Star, what's going on?
What's happening?
Ain't none, bro. What's going on? What you want to say to these lovely ladies right here?
Hey, man,
Hey.
I agree.
I just wanted to say to the ladies, man, you can still be a boss, but you still have to make sure that the children are prepared for every day.
But they do. Is that not what you said?
Thank you,
you
Star.
did?
Thank you.
Is that not what you
Thank
said?
you,
did?
Star.
Can
We
I-
appreciate
can
you.
I- Can I say something?
Go ahead,
for a
boss
moment?
lady. Go ahead.
There's a lot of
I
men
have to listen
commenting
to the
on what
callers.
and how women do and carry theirs, baby.
Ma'am, there's a call.
No, I think women.
Wait, somebody thinks women. Hold on.
Oh, what'd you say?
Silence.
No, just go ahead. Y'all go ahead and finish because I don't want to get cursed out because she already started cursing in front of the car.
Nah, I'm calm. I'm just listen. I'm just always going to return the same energy. No, you ain't hit no nerve with me. I don't have kids. I don't got no nerve to hit.
She want to hear what you think,
You know
Star.
what I'm saying?
Yo,
Wants to hear
bro,
what he think.
she want to hear what you think.
I'm just always going to return the same energy you give.
She didn't hear
That's
what
it.
I said?
I heard you.
No, I want to hear what you
Oh,
think.
she heard me?
I want to hear what you think. I'm listening.
Star.
Yo,
She said
what's
she
up,
want.
Murder? What's up, Murder?
Yo. She said she want to hear what you think. What's your thoughts?
My thing is, I love the black women because nobody does it like the mom. But we've gotten away from that. We've gotten away from that nurturing where the mom is the foundation of the everyday of the children, and we got to get back to that.
I totally agree with that. And can I just be honest? I think that one of the things is that I don't believe in speaking or just agreeing with a whole unless I have been a part of it. And I totally agree with going back to nurturing, and we're all out of sync with that.
Right.
And I have just seen it within the last 4 years. And I say to myself all the time, like, yo, I need to be in my own world because I done seen a lot of world these last 4 years, and it's just been way too much for me. And I'm just trying to scale back myself.
Ooh.
I agree.
Hold that thought. Let her finish. Go ahead. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And one of the things that makes me cringe is when we get all these kudos and all these props for being this strong black woman.
Right.
I'd be like, but that's because we have to be. But I ain't walking around desired to be, I'm this strong black woman. Like, no, like, I want to be soft and fluffy. I don't want to be, I don't want to be aggressive and have to take on everything. But some men have to understand that a lot of women, first of all, this goes back history. A lot of women, that's what they come from, and that's just what they used to, and they don't understand anything else. And if ain't nobody showing them anything different, then they don't know anything different. Can I say something?
Go ahead, bro.
Because your mom was a boss man.
Let me get in,
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Hey, Star, hold on, Star. Let me just say something, man. Are y'all listening?
Yes, we hear.
All right, Day, I need for you to listen to this too, because you know.
Yes, sir.
You really don't even know who this is right now, but when you come down here to this rehearsal, it's on and popping. But listen, I think both ladies and I think men you guys also have a great perspective of what's going on. But I'm going to tell you right now, in my play, and I state and I stand by this, 95% of the reasons why these children are the way that they are is because of the lack of a strong black man. And we force these women to be in the situation that they are in.
Right.
I don't think no woman choose to be hard. I don't think no woman want to be a boss. It's just the lack of men that they're dealing with that they have to be the way that they are.
Right.
So I don't want to continue to keep on saying these women are out here being masculine and being all of these dominant women and all that stuff. Shit, I don't want no soft woman. You understand? I want a woman.
That's right.
To be about her bread, but also be able to do what she's supposed to do at home too. But that also makes me want to step up, and that's why I work 5 jobs, so my wife don't have to work as hard as most women.
Which is why I asked, where is the
that's because you a real man, Rob. You see what I'm saying?
King.
So here's the thing. It still ultimately goes back to the woman, because when they have that nut ass ninja, that means they chose him. They chose to lay down with him and have children with him. He's not a man. He's a boy.
We're going to accept what you say, King.
Okay, can I say
that's
this?
exactly
Hold on. Let me read this comment from a woman, from Saida.
Hey, Dad, you took what I was about to say.
Listen, Saida said
took what I was
a
about
woman
to say,
owes
Dave.
her kids 18 plus years of sacrificing and making life about them. Not about the boss mom. We have moved away from times before our generations and our grandparents' generation, and it shows through our community of kids. That is exactly what I was saying. Thank you, Miss Saida. So listen, real quick, y'all. We're gonna have a word.
That's not what you said. You said it was the women's fault.
It is your fault because
you said we're gonna
break it down after the apostle speaks.
What about the dynamic?
Listen,
of the family?
after the apostle speaks, then we're gonna talk about this dynamic you're delusional about.
Be mindful of who you have. No, flip it over.
Let me just say this real quick, even to Miss Saida. Don't slander the boss mom stay fit, because she's saying the same thing like boss mom. I know, but let me. Oh, okay. Because let me say that because don't do that, because boss mom stay fit is not representing boss mom and we taking over and we strong and we don't need no man and we running this and we gotta get the bag. No, that's not what boss mom stay fit is representing. So let's just be clear about that again.
When I say boss mom, I don't mean you and your entity. A boss mom with the today's society of women that's what is the word? Alpha mom.
We
and
ain't talking
alpha.
about them.
We're talking about all that.
How did a woman become that way though?
Hold on. After the apostle speaks,
you want to you want
So-
no,
so
you
real-
want
real-
no accountability for a
Go
man.
ahead. Go
That's
ahead. Go ahead.
what's
Let the
bad.
pastor speak. Go ahead, Pastor.
I have no idea. I have no idea the foundation of this conversation. So state your point, Dave, one more time of what you.
I'm
We-
gonna
I
leave
ain't
all
try-
that.
I'm not trying to
I'm
traumatize
about
you.
out
But
of it. I don't got no kids, so I ain't worried about all that. I'm
So
living my
what I'm
best life
saying
traveling.
is, today's society has become what today's society have become as far as the children doing all of the things that they're doing because of the lack of leadership at home. If the father is at work and the mom is at work, there's no one home to lay the rules down. This is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. This is what you don't do. And I know God had a purpose. I know God, when he created man and then from our rib created woman, I know he had a purpose. And I'm sure it wasn't for us to leave the kids unattended to.
Well, do you think that? Do you think
He
that?
asked me what point I was making.
Right.
And
You
that-
need
let-
to get your man group
let
together.
him-
Yeah, because
let him-
Because it ain't a lot of
do
men
you
in the home.
think? Do you
let the
think that?
apostle speak.
Do you always want the apostle to speak
Also-
every time you done said what you had to
He-
say?
also- he brought me
you
back
gotta-
to the
you
But
gotta
do
look
you
at it
think?
like this.
Do
Let's
you
start
think
with
that
Steve.
He brought
women
me
want
back
to?
to
Do
the
you?
microphone and said, what was your
Do
point?
you think that women want to be that way? Do you think that women want to
How
run
many-
their households
okay,
that way?
okay.
Do you think
So-
that it's a
So
choice?
how many, when you go out there, how many women you look out there and see women that look like men?
Oh.
How many times you see that?
So what?
How many times do you go out there and see women that doing jobs that men do? How many
All
times?
right. Okay, so I know where logic is, so I'm just gonna leave it, and I'm
Okay,
I'm
so-
bowing out of
no,
this.
we-
whatever
we-
this
no, no, oh, no, it's
conversation.
too late for that.
I know where
After
your
the-
logic is.
After the apostle speak, I want you to tell me where my logic
I'm
is.
not telling you nothing. Go ahead, apostle.
Well, first of all, I really don't have an opinion about all of this. Only because this is a systemic issue. And so you guys are
What does systemic means? Because I've never heard that word.
Well, get the dictionary. Let him finish.
Right.
systemic stems from system. It's a systems issue. And I think that we can have, I think that you guys are having one conversation in the setting that really should be broken up and properly categorized in many different areas, right?
Absolutely.
And so, we're arguing about, is it the man's responsibility? It's the woman's responsibility. But when you really break it down systemically, I think the number one thing that we never talk about is us knowing our roles in the family unit. And part of the problem is we're raising kids in a situation, in a house that has no proper foundation.
Right.
And what we're having to do on an
Right.
ideology level,
Right.
on a theological level, and on a psychological level is what worked in the adolescence does not work in the teenage years.
Right.
And so, a lot of times, it's easy for the woman to stay home when the child are infants, but that does not negate that provision has to come from somewhere. And I think that, we're having issues about the fruit, right? And you talked about seeds, but, we got to trace it that the reason why there's a lot of fruits that have no seeds is because it started somewhere. And so instead of arguing about should a watermelon have seeds, should a watermelon not have seeds, how did we get here? And my belief, I'll never run for office. I'll never try to do this, but I believe that, people should be required to have training, classes, and therapy before they legally should get married.
Right.
And before they even legally, you can't, there's no way you can police this,
Right.
but before they have children, is because the issue is not who should stay home. The issue is, why are we in a contract never deciding the roles? You sign a marriage certificate not even understanding or agreeing to roles. And it is in the premarital stage where you guys should decide, anybody that's getting married, whose responsibility
Right.
is to provide for the family, whose responsibility is to handle the children, right?
Yeah.
And I'm married, so I can really talk about that. What a healthy marriage looks like is when a wife and a husband properly knows their roles. And each role is not absolute authority, it's delegated authority.
Right.
And so there's certain things where, you know, even I want to invade on my wife's decision making,
Right.
but I delegated that authority to her. And so, you know, if she wants to handle the kids, or the biggest thing is schedule. Like, you know, women are a little bit more structured than men are.
Yeah.
I can't come in and change the schedule of the home and want the children to validate their mother
Right.
when I have a pattern and paradigm of disrespect, dishonor, and disenfranchisement in the home. And so I think that, you know, this conversation is a little bit disjointed a little bit, is because one of the questions that we have to ask is, am I doing this because I have to do this, or am I doing this because I'm supposed to do this?
Right.
And I think that, you know, and let me just even say this, you know, and I know that you're in the therapy vein. 90% of the African American culture are not even healthy enough to make sound decisions anyway, because I think that there is so much undiagnosed PTSD in our community that, you know, we're building, making decisions. You know, I was telling somebody the other day, it's crazy how a 18-year-old cannot get a credit card in their name because they don't have enough credit history, but the same 18-year-old can go to college and then be in debt, accumulate debt for the rest of their life.
Right.
Make it make sense. And so, you know,
Right.
the same thing within our community. It's not limited to our community, but I'm just specifying it to our community, is that, you know, we're building families, having children, you know, being pushed into the career, being pushed into the workforce, you know, going to college with unresolved trauma. And so a lot of what's happening in now is we have no baseline. Is because, you know, you can only teach what you have the capacity for.
Right.
And so, you know, if a mother has been trained based off of trauma from her mother, the only thing that you can pass down is trauma.
Right.
And so, you know, I think that, you know, really talking about this, it's a systemic issue. We have to deal with the mental health crisis in the Black family. We have to deal with we have to deal with the mental health crisis, even in the masculine population, in the male population, that, you know, they were well enough to have kids, but they were not well enough to have. They were not well enough to be a father.
Right.
You are not healthy enough to be a husband. And I think that, you know, and here's my recommendation. I think that there's a generation that may need to die off so that we can start over.
Yeah,
Which would look like,
So
you
now
know,
we're going back to Genesis 6?
not necessarily, but what it looks like is, you know, if 95% are struggling with a form of PTSD, and that is a clinical terminology that most of us, like, same thing with narcissism. Most people that use that word narcissism are not qualified to even use it.
Right.
So don't even use it. But, you know, I think one of the things that need to happen is that we need to be educating our children that you may not need to get married. You may not need to have children, and you need to spend your time in these years, you know, and I know I'm going against, you know, a lot of theological belief systems, but, you know, and you need to spend your time going through therapy, going through problem resolution, and only and if you can get the information necessary to shift your perspective, paradigm, and comprehension level, only at that point should you be allowed to have children, to build a family. Otherwise, you're building a front. And most of us were not raised in families.
You get a better understanding as far as kids and being married. You get a more.
Now, I will say that I totally agree on that. And as I said before, I am not a parent. I do not have any children. I'm an auntie of many.
And it's okay if you choose not to.
So while I'm in my journey right now, based on what you saying, and it's a real thing, and I just want to say, like, from a woman's perspective, because it's our body that well, we don't really produce the baby, but we, you know, bring them into the world or whatever. And I personally believe that I should heal my trauma in a certain way. So I'm not putting that on my kids. I personally need to make sure that I do marry the person that is for me that I am going to spend the rest of my life with, I only plan on being married once, which means I need to tread lightly on who I choose. So when it comes to and I do feel like that is a more logical way to bring a family into this world, but that's just not the reality of what the world is, and not everyone is like that, because not everybody even realize or acknowledge that they have trauma. You know what I'm saying? They just see some people. I don't even want to go back into the mom situation because my ears are still ringing. So I just know that it is important to take care of your mental health when it comes to taking care of your children. And it goes back to the saying that you can't fill anyone else's cup until you fill your own. So a lot of moms are exhausted because they're not filling their cups, and they feel like the only cup that they have to fill is their children's. So they forget about themselves in general. So if we go back into taking care of ourselves, and some people is like, doing it backwards, but like we do have an opportunity to do it right and get it right. And just because it was wrong before, it doesn't mean that you can't.
So here's my recommendation for all the moms, and y'all gonna look at me very twisted. I feel like Dave wants the controversy, so I'm gonna feed into the controversy. You can't spend your entire, and I'm speaking to the fathers too, you cannot spend your child's entire adolescence talking about you can't date, you have to wait X, Y, and Z, and then expect them at a certain point to flip a switch and then want them to be prepared.
Right.
Most women only are raised to the level of girlfriend and have never been trained to be a wife. And I believe that that's something that a mother should do. And if a mother who is a wife does not know how to be a wife, then what you're going to give your daughter to?
Well, can I speak on all of those things? Because
Go
I've been
ahead.
a mother, wife, and all of those things.
Go ahead. Break it down.
So, for one, I want to piggyback up on something that you said, because that was confirmation. The other day I was riding in the car and I was thinking about Genesis 6, and that always rang because I remember reading that before, and I questioned God because I was like, how you feel remorseful for what you made when you created it, so you already knew? So I had went through that, right? And that was years ago. So just the other day in the car, and I'm just thinking about again, I told y'all how I feel about this world. It's just way too much for me. And I'm like, Lord, are you going to take all of is Noah going to have to prepare another ark? Like, are you going to kill off, like take off? Because it is so much stigma and so much that's going on that I don't even understand. So I just wanted to kind of say that was confirmation for that. I also wanted to say that what you were saying in reference to like in the home as husband and wife and getting counseling and things of that matter. I know for me, because I was married so young, because I think sometimes and we stayed together for 12 we were married for 12 whole years. And I tell people this all the time. I believe that I can't tell you what religion to be, but I definitely believe that in a marriage that you should have some type of you should have a religious foundation, because that's what's going to shape the marriage. And when I first met my husband, I was already in transition of changing and being a Christian and living for Jesus and those things. So I think that's why the marriage lasted for 12 years on my end, because I wanted to make things work and get the counseling and get the understanding for it to work, and it did for 12 years. It did last until it just wasn't. I realized that it's probably best for us to be apart because it's not working in the home in front of our children.
Yeah. I think that is the narrative that we have to change. That you get no credit lasting for 20 years if at the end it fails. And I think that there is this pressure within our community to last it out, until the kids are 18 and, stick it in. And, because most of us, I'm a lot younger than y'all, but, I grew up, never thinking twice about my parents, my grandparents sleeping in 2 separate rooms. And so there was a generation that normalized it to maintain the front that at least we're still married. And so, marriage has nothing to do with not being divorced, but marriage has everything to do with functioning in purpose. If you are not functioning in purpose, you are married on paper, but you are not married in the spirit. And so I think that that's the part where we have to be okay admitting to the world that this is broken. And you can't fix it until you identify that it's broken. And so, you know, and I'm not saying I'm not directing this towards you, but I think that there's a lot of people holding on, committing insanity, because if both of you guys are going at each other and you can't fix it and she can't fix it, and you're not willing to get help.
And now the kids are looking at you and they looking to see that it's something ain't right. Then it ain't right.
But see, here's the thing though. The kids are not looking at you. They're learning from you.
Right, absolutely.
And I think that there may be at least one couple that needs to hear this. You will save your kids' lives by just getting a divorce.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm not even, and I don't even believe in divorce.
Right.
But this is what I believe. The reason why, you know, they allowed divorce in the Old Testament, because, you know, husbands and wives ended up taking hits out on each other to kill each other, because that was the only way out of divorce. And so Moses ended up permitting it. That's where divorce biblically became acceptable or permissible. It was never desired, it was never authorized, but God allowed it because they was literally killing each other. And so I think that, you know, in these conversations, and I do agree, but I do agree in terms of, you know, there needs to be it would be great for some level of spirituality or religion to be at the foundation. But even in that, you know, and I'm biased, so I'm not going to finish that train of thought. But here is the reason, and I'll give a testimony. I don't even know how I got to the seat, but I'm gonna give it back today. What governs my house has nothing to do with how my wife treats me. It has everything to do with there's somebody greater than her who I answer to.
Yep. I know.
And so, you know, we are guilty of dating people leading to being engaged to people, leading to married to people that have nobody but them to answer to. And, you can't lean on the word and not submit to the word, because, you know, no matter how spiritual he is to the woman, he's your Lord.
Right. And I kind of want to go back to like what you said with like when the kids are at home and they're watching you going through the things with relationships, or you tell your kids not to date or not to do certain things, they don't get these type of experience to build themselves up to be in relationships and blah, blah, blah. So me in general, I'm just going to say, for some kids who don't know what that foundation of what relationships look like, they just see how you're treated. They just see how whatever they get from both parents and whatever is they can absorb from society. So I am one of those people, because I am intentional about being a wife. So I'm in present time, I'm not going to say I'm in these streets. That's for sure. But what I am going to say is that I'm actively, my therapist tell me I shouldn't be dating or whatever, because I'm still healing and everything like that. But healing is how I learn how and who I am as a companion. Because if I'm just single and I'm just by myself, I'm just going to be a boss and make my money. I'm just going to make my money and like worry about that. So I just had this conversation with my therapist actually yesterday on my reasoning on why I'm continuing to just date people, because there's a lot of things that I don't know about myself until I'm involved with other people, and that's just in general. But if I'm being intentional about being a wife and having a family and doing things like that, I want to be intentional about who my soulmate is and the people whoever I had to get through, whatever I had to learn to get to that person. So we ain't going.
So here's I'm gonna give you 90 seconds of counsel. Amen. You don't have to receive it from
Amen.
You don't have to receive it from a spiritual advisor role, but I'm just gonna float some things.
Okay.
The prerequisite for marriage is not a girlfriend or boyfriend. It's husband and wife. The Bible says that he that finds a wife has found a good thing.
Right.
Well, how can you find a wife? Absolutely, right. But the context that we always talk about that Eve came from the side rib, you know, however we want to translate that scripture.
Right.
But Adam was established in his work before Adam had a need for a help meet.
Right.
And so, when you're out here in these streets, the way that you will recognize your husband is that he understands how you fit in his purpose.
Right.
You won't have to try to figure out, well, how do I fit? That it's not your job to figure out where do I fit in the context of his baby mother, his mother,
I don't deal with
his
none of those
sister.
things. I don't date people with children.
But he has to be established in his purpose. And so, it doesn't matter. No, I'm talking about this. This is reserved for the man. Because the woman's responsibility is you have to possess the ability to multiply everything that I give you. If you look at Proverbs 31, this was not the king Lemuel that was talking about the virtuous woman. This was the king's mother that instilled these values in him. And what the mother told the king, because Solomon did not say this, a woman wrote a woman's counsel birthed Proverbs 31, the virtuous woman. And majority of that is detailing a working woman.
Okay.
A working woman.
Is she a boss?
So, because I'm gonna balance the conversation. I'm gonna balance.
No.
Let's take adjectives and pronouns off of it. But I'm gonna meet you guys because I ain't agreeing on either side. But I'm gonna meet you guys in the middle. Because the Bible talks about that everything that, first of all, her children called her blessed, right? And so, which means that there has to be an established relationship with the children where not only do I see you, but I know what you're doing. There is intimacy in the relationship to the point where I can see the keyword blessed. The context for that keyword blessed is everything I touch turns to gold, which means that there has to be some liberty in the dynamic of the family, marriage, and the motherhood. Because even the Bible says that she goes out into the city and begins to gather all of the linen and begins to sell it. And so, this is where I'm going to be a little bit critical in the older generation. It's not just a man's responsibility to work. But a healthy marriage is that a man established in his purpose is getting it started. I run 11 businesses just in this one building, and everything that I've started, my wife finishes. That is the responsibility and the role of, if you single and you're gonna marry somebody, she should bring 10 times, 100-fold back everything that you started.
Absolutely.
And so sometimes the problem with the women is y'all dating people prematurely because they don't have nothing to multiply yet.
Well, can I say this? Again, I've been single now for 4 years, and what I know for sure is that I am a wife, and I don't really know how to be anything else other than a wife, which made me realize that I had to pull back altogether of even thinking of dating, because it's just not the same. And it's not that I'm out here looking for a husband. It's just that I'm genuinely who I am, and people don't understand. It's like I'm the alien, and everybody else is normal. So they no, for real. So it's like, okay, and I'm cool with not fitting in, because I never fitted in anyway. Since a child, I always was the off one. In reference to just being different. But yeah, I just had to let that whole thing of dating and all that stuff just go. And it did, and I'm just going to be transparent. It did bother me, and not because I wanted a man, but because when I was looking around at my home, I seen that it needed a man in the home. But today with dating, you can't just go out here and meet this guy and be like, oh, he's the one. And women, let me say this real quick, moms. When we are dating and we're looking to be with whoever we're going to be with, it's not that we trying to push. I ain't never pushing my kids on any man. Right. But we should have a conscience of, if this gonna be our man, if this gonna be my man, he has to fit the whole house. He gotta be a fit for the household and for the kids. Right. Like, he ain't just for me. He for them too.
Right.
Because if the kids don't like him, that means, Mom, he ain't for you.
Right.
Hey, let me read some of these comments. Brown Love said, oh wow, we got a lot of comments.
Absolutely. You know what topic
Because you
talking
ain't talking, you starting stuff.
Listen. I gotta go all the way up. Brown Love said, "Wow, that right there." Brown Love said, "Y'all weren't ready for this week." Tatiana Bland said, "Preach, preacher." Zaire said, "Preacher said it all." Say it again. Zayar. I love that name. Zayar Single said, "Preacher said it all." Saida said, "It's all of us as a whole, not standing in the roles we were created to embrace."
Absolutely.
Tatiana said,
know what the roles are created to be honest.
"Where is church?"
They don't.
Tatiana said,
Selling tickets.
"Yeah. Service starts at noon." Brown Love said that. Heather Jenkins said, "House of Glory." 5245 Germantown Avenue.
yes.
Saida said,
church. Oh.
he said truth and facts. 100 emojis. Tatiana
right.
said, "Thank you, Brown Love." Heather Jenkins said, "Service starts at noon." Thanks right there. You said you're a poet, right?
Yes.
So I came up with this, and also whoever wants to, Saida, y'all ready? This is a topic for, no, not a topic. This is a title for a poem. You ready?
Okay.
Ladies, beware, and then she's about to write about it. A clown in knight's armor. So this is for you ladies picking the wrong guys because we're stupid. And we try to prey on, have fun with, do everything except be that man that you want us to be, that man that you need us to be. So when I brought this conversation up, it's not because I say that we are 100% correct. By no means.
I like having conversation.
We
I'm
are
cool with a
jacked
cool
up as a
debate.
whole. Men, we are jacked up a whole, and a lot of us are children in men bodies. That's just what it is. And I'm guilty of it too. It just so happened that I am a protector. I have something that I am good at as being a man, and I am a protector. That is just me. If you're in my presence, I'm constantly watching. I'm constantly making sure you're okay, and nobody better not say nothing to you that make you frown your face. That's just how I am. So by no means do I want you two to think that I was attacking you. I was just bringing a subject to the forefront, and because I had two powerful women in front of me, I wanted your opinions. I felt your power the moment I saw you, and I already know hers.
No, that's
I
not
ride for
fair.
my mama.
That's not
So-
fair. You can't say that because
I can't say what? That I wanted your opinion?
I didn't even have an opinion, and because you know me, and that's not fair. I didn't have an opinion. Y'all just hit
What
I
was
want you
the
to go
title
back and
that
watch
you
the show
said?
because you had a lot of opinion. But me and you,
What's the title that you said?
a clown in knight's armor.
I have a poem called Masked in a Mirror.
Oh, I like
Oh, so probably kind of similar to it. Interesting. So
See?
before we go, we haven't had a chance, or did y'all do it when I left? Touch on your nonprofit organization, how people can reach out,
Well,
how
I
people
was
can
a
help.
bit
Razzled.
thrown away from that, but the organization, the Facebook is It's Mine Movement, ITSMINE. Some people think I say my as in like MY. I guess that's just a Jersey accent, but it's Mine Movement. It's Mine Movement on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, all one word. Our website is itsminemovement.org. My information is basically out there. In a sense, you can always reach me through the website. You can always reach me through social media. It is me behind those things that's happening. So we're always looking for people. We're always looking for people to volunteer. We are actively looking for clinical and licensed therapists so we can service more of our community. And
We have a caller.
We have a caller, I guess. Oh, they hung up. Sorry about that. Continue on.
Go ahead. You can
Okay.
finish.
yeah, I'm reachable on the website. It's minemovement.org. It's My Movement on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave you for 60 seconds, and I'm gonna talk to Tiffany Williams. While I'm doing that,
son.
William son, my bad. While I'm doing that, is it okay if I put you on the spot and have you do a poem for us You could think of something that you've already wrote, go off the fly, whatever it is you would like to do.
I don't go on the top of my head, but I do have stuff in my phone, so I can do that.
Awesome. So you find what you need to find while I talk to Miss Tiffany Williamson about Boss Moms.
That's fine.
Miss Boss Mom, how are you? I just want you to give, the show is coming to an end. I just want you to give, if anybody wanted to purchase anything from you, if anybody wanted to see you, if anybody wanted to know about any pop-ups or anything that you're doing, give them all the platforms that you're on.
Yes.
And anything that you can give advice or anything at all to anybody that want to do what you're doing.
Okay, well, again, Boss Mom Stay Fit is a community for women, mothers, sisters, daughters, and wives. We are a community that is just helping one another with different resources, with mental health, with our children, different youth programs for our children. We have resources for that. Again, I will be doing a lounge as well as having my website for you to become a member of the Boss Mom Stay Fit, where we do outings, spiritual gatherings, and again, just resources. And my big thing right now is food. So if you go to Instagram, I am Boss Mom Stay Fit, or if you go to Facebook, Boss Mom Stay Fit, you will be seeing a lot of information in reference to food and what we are eating. Now, I'm not trying to change nobody's mind in reference to what they eat. That's not, I'm not doing a persuasion. That's not what I'm doing. But I do want us to be more conscious and more mindful of what we're putting in our bodies as well as our children's, because the children are our future, and that's not cliche. That is the truth. And we do work, and we do have to send our children out here to school. And I'm real big on just getting resources in reference to our children, because we have to live. We do have to make a living. We do have to work.
Definitely.
And we don't need our kids out here, and we getting calls that they ain't ate breakfast.
Right.
And the school lunch is making their stomach hurt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we are about to get a poem.
Before we get out of here.
Before we get out of here, I got to read. You do know I have to read Danae's comment. This is my daughter. It's all the way up there, but I don't want to get in trouble when I get home. So Danae Sabir said, wow, I'm moving to Texas in a year. No, you're not. You're not moving no damn where. And she also said, and that's why I'm scared of big crowds. I never told anyone, but I am terrified. I'm your dad. You ain't gotta be scared of nothing. Is you crazy? I get really uncomfortable around a lot of people. I never been to a concert or anything. Mind you, she's licensed to carry. We're gonna talk about that when I get home. I'm not playing.
No, that's the reality for me too. That's why I don't go. I don't do parties if it's not like a at home like chill situation. A couple of people that I know, couple of drinks, game night, whatever. I don't do like the
Big
clubs.
crowds.
I don't do none of that stuff. Even when it's so sad, because I do want to go out and celebrate like gay pride. Y'all was talking about finding a man. I'm a lesbian, so let me just let that be clear here. Yeah. But
right.
No,
You heard it first.
So I be wanting to go and celebrate stuff like that, but then we do have people who do the mass shootings and things like that, and I don't want to ever that to be my story. I have a friend who went through that with the Pulse shooting in Orlando, and she survived, thank God. But I just don't want to. I have enough PTSD, and I don't need any more.
Right.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
Before you start,
okay,
we gotta have you back to the show.
Absolutely.
We're gonna talk about that later. Please, the poem.
So the poem that I'm gonna read is I'm a dedicated to our queens, because we know we have queens that's watching and giving their feedback on the things that they were saying. So I'm going to speak to the women that's misunderstood, because I got a lot of misunderstoodness up in here. But anyway, it's called I Pray for Women Like Me, because what'd you say about my mama?
Oh, I was trying not to be rude, but it sounds like you're throwing shots, but we'll talk about that later. I got a lot of misunderstoodness up in this room.
Don't do it. All
right.
Okay.
Word to
Next time.
Okay, so it's called I Pray for Women Like Me. Strong, fearless women like me who live behind the walls of brokenness that was created to define her inner power, to empower, to prosper, and conquer all that she sees. Strong women like me, yearning for inner peace. Faded out what people told her to be. She's not what they label her to be. She's a queen. I pray for women like me who unpack their baggage unapologetically, having to block out the criticism that comes with the territory. I pray for women like me who wear that conscience of don't judge me because people judge what they don't know and they still ignore what their eyes say is truth. I pray for women like me who have that fight or flight complex, finding comfort in being a pessimist because what's in front of you says give in, but greater instincts give you reasons to live. I pray for women like me, rebellious in your soul, once lost in your heart, who's impulsive because waiting another minute may cause you to miss out on opportunities. I pray for women like me, who instincts is to find intent with everyone they meet, women like me, who count their good days by the goals she reached. Salute to she who owns what happens in her life on a daily. Salute to she who owns what happens in her life on a daily. I pray for women like me who find themselves adjusting their crowns frequently because the sheep and wolf skin started creeping. It reminds you of all the reasons you're a queen. I pray for women like me who find no hope and trust, too stuck dealing with other people's perspective on love, aloof to friendships because they eventually fade away, prone to survival, numb to trials, knowing not to trust someone you just met because it will take a while. I pray for women like me, still interrupting your day with what ifs, women like me, who take in as much wisdom as their spirit can handle because you know what life entitles. I pray for women like me, who know there's a higher power but find reasons not to believe what life conceives as who we were meant to be. I pray for women like me, who have people around them that says they love you but envy. Understand, this is for my queens. I pray for women like me, who understand what it feels like to be belittled, undermined, underestimated, and manipulated because you allow someone to get close enough to play puppet master to your weaknesses. Salute to the queens who had the instincts to pick herself up and remind herself to love yourself. Who can love you more than yourself? Understand, this is for my queens. I pray for women like me because we're the backbones of chaos. We bring the quiet in the storm. We are the key holders of no force. We were made different, to prosper, to empower all that we see, and anything that needs the attention of a queen. Even women who move like pawns have the potential to be a queen, so don't stop and remember to pray for each other and watch me change the world. Salute to the queens.
Salute to the queens.
Salute to the queens. Stay home.
There you go. Groovy.
Let's get ready for open mic.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
definitely.
Yeah.
Open mic night. You got an event coming up?
She's gonna have her merchandise there
Awesome.
as well.
When is
You can
it?
pick
When
up
is the
some good
event? Tell them
pieces.
real quick.
It's Saturday, May 27th at 7 p.m. You can get the tickets on Eventbrite. The Eventbrite link is imm.eventbrite.com. Tickets are $20. Poets are
$20.
free. I'm still kind of adding poets to the list, so if you want to come and spit, please hit me up. The phone number, you can text me literally 267-901-8612. It's 267-901-8612. Not this number, but the other number. And I'll answer, I'll respond, and we can always coordinate because we need more people that's going to release.
That's right.
Awesome.
That's right.
Awesome. We
Yes.
had an excellent
Yes.
show. I love you guys.
Thank
you got to
you,
come back.
man.
You got to come
Give me
back.
some, give me some,
Listen,
man.
we about to get out of here. We
Yeah.
already a couple minutes over. So listen, if y'all don't watch the show, if y'all don't know about the Four
We
Horsemen,
always do our
we always
traditional.
do our thing, and we got to
Yes.
go woo, really, really, really loud. Manager, you come in and take pictures. If you're gonna take pictures, we got to do it. We got to do it fast.
Managers come in here so we can do
all
this
right.
real quick.
All right. She's taking too long. Hello.
she locked
All right, we got to go. We already 4 minutes ahead of time.
All right.
That's the
We going to
Open
get
the
in
door.
here.
Open the door for her. Open the door. Maybe she at the door. Nope. She
That's
at
the
door.
cue
Oh, there you
light.
go.
They
She
got
did the
it.
cue
All
light.
right, let's do this.
It's the mic.
All right.
1,
1,
2,
2.
3.
Woo!